Hey, welcome back to the Walks for Wealth podcast. If you're tuning in on YouTube or any of the podcast directories, make sure to do yourself one teeny tiny little favor and make sure to give us a follow because I don't want you to miss out on this brand new series that I got cooking up. Welcome to the Road to Wealth series. This is season 1, episode 0. This is the debut episode for this new series that I'm starting on. I've been having conversations with people and it kind of inspired me. Like I really want to get back into documenting my journey, right? I call this podcast Walk to Wealth to kind of document my walk to wealth. And I haven't done the best job at doing so. And so I want to be more intentional about sharing that journey, bringing you in along for the ride. It hopes that it maybe inspires you. Maybe you learn something so you don't have to go through the lessons I had to learn. But this is not advice. This is me documenting what I'm going through as I'm going through it live instead of waiting for me to become some big shot entrepreneur, online guru, or whatever, and saying, hey, here's how I scale my business, or whatever. Right. This is what the podcast was originally meant to be. And I'm going back to my roots now. It took me a while, but we're getting it started, right? Entrepreneurship isn't always as fun as people make it seem. Right. 1 second you're making more money in an hour than you've made in an entire year. The next second you are drowning in debt, credit cards maxed out, savings emptied, and that's currently where I'm at right now. That's the big problem where I'm at. Right. I currently have, at the time of recording this, right, I had 9 credit cards maxed. Right. My savings are all drained. My bank accounts are all drained. Credit score has shot. And so I'm in a tricky situation financially. And so my goal with this series is to become debt free, restore my credit, build a 12-month saving, and get back into investing because I used to have a lot of money back in index funds. Again, my why for starting this series really is because I want to document more of my journey, right? I want to stop and smell the roses. There's a quote I love. It says, I think it's a Drake quote, and he says, "I wish I was where I was when I used to wish I was here." Like right now, I'm currently going through. I'm in the thick of it. Financially, I'm in a tough situation, and I know that when I'm successful, when I made it, when I reach the other side, I'll be looking back at these times and be like, "Damn, like." We come a long way, and so I want to be able to stop and smell the roses. I also want to hold myself accountable, right? Awareness is powerful. If you don't know where you're at, you can never get to where you're going because you never know where to start. You don't know when you put in a GPS, right? They need two things. They need your end destination and they need your current location. And then they calculate how to get there. What's the fastest path to get there? If you don't know where you're currently at, you can't calculate a route, right? So by me checking in and sharing with you guys, like this will be able to give me more awareness as to where I'm at so I can course correct and so that I don't end up going in another bad situation like I am now. And so how this series will work is once a week I'll drop an update, right? Fridays I'm gonna release a new episode and I'll share the date, where I'm at financially and my credit wise. I'm going to share the changes from the week prior and what I plan to do in the upcoming week. And then for future episodes, right, I'll share what I actually did versus what I planned and how I plan to get back on track. So this is a new series. Again, it's called The Road to Wealth. I'm excited to bring you in along for the ride. I'm going to be super transparent, super vulnerable because, again, there's a lot of people who are just gatekeeping information or they're embarrassed, maybe scared, maybe ashamed, or just don't want their public information out there. But for me, like, I want to just be an open book and really help people because I know this is kind of the information that I was looking for back when I was getting into entrepreneurship. And so hopefully this helps you out. And I look forward to, bring you in along for the ride as we walk to wealth together. So that's all for this episode. And I'll see you in the next one.